Hello and welcome to the Marketing One podcast. I'm your host, Anusha, Kannan, and it is great to have you here. Are you looking to move into marketing or want to learn marketing from scratch? We discuss all things marketing, analytics, business, personal branding, AI, and much more in a way any layman can understand. If you're new here, make sure to follow along and get on that email list by visiting anushakannan.com/email list to receive newsletters from me twice weekly. Follow at Anusha Ramesh Kannan on TikTok. Tag us on your stories. Would love to see that. And now let's dive in. Welcome back to this week's episode. In this week's episode, we are going to take a time machine and try to go into the future to see kind of what we should prepare for 2025 in marketing. And why should we care about 2025 now? Because in marketing, those who prepare for what's coming rather than what's here are the ones that will actually survive. So let's jump into some of the less obvious, because I'm not going to talk about the ones that you can just find with a Google search. I'm going to talk about trends, game-changing trends that you need to be aware of. So let's dive into the first one. Digital humility, which is, I think there's going to be a rise of more of a silent brand. People are seeking attention, right? On social media, everybody wants attention. Why do we, if you take a step back and actually think about, even for your own personal Instagram or for your brand, why do we post pictures? Why do we want everybody to see what we're doing? It's because we want the attention, right? Brands are also doing the same thing. We want everybody's attention. We want people to be thinking about our brands. But at the same time, brands are now taking a step back. They're choosing to listen more and speak less. This speaks volumes about trends that are happening right now. You don't need to hop on every single trend, because then you're just going to be, you'd probably just have the herd mentality. How about you take a step back, see if it actually makes sense to get on that trend for your audience. Not every trend is something you should jump on. You don't have to do that. How can you withdraw, or more like take a step back from these conversations? Sometimes just listening is the best way. And I'm not talking about withdrawing from the market completely. It's just about engaging in a more meaningful and selective way. It's like when people say, don't talk too much because people are not going to respect you if you keep talking, it kind of resonates there. You have to be very mindful of the things you say, because if you're saying only 5 words, people should just be looking at your mouth and think, what are they actually going to say? This is so valuable, which I think is going to be big in 2025 for brands that are smart. You know, if you're working for a brand, here I just told you, talk about it with your marketing team. I also think there's in a professional sense, right? As a professional, we need to know when to pause, when to reflect, when to listen. It can be reacting to the market, to our peers, or even ourselves. So this definitely is not about doing less. It's just about doing things with more intention. And when I said we need to take a step back and listen to our customers, the second one is actually going to play a huge role in that. The death of cookies, right? The second one is, how do we navigate a cookieless future? We've heard the warnings, but as third-party cookies are being phased out by 2025, marketers will have to rethink how they track and target customers. So this change will force us to become more sort of innovative and also take a step back and think about how we collect and use data. So, for example, brands will need to rely more on first-party data. This is where the listening comes into play, information collected directly from consumers. So this might also include investing in loyalty programs, interactive content, or direct customer feedback to gain insights. And this is not going to be an easy job, but you have to think of it as a return to more genuine relationships with your audience. I think about this all the time, because when people say, oh, it's a very generic thing that we do when we connect with our customers with cookies, I don't like it, because you never really know what your customers are thinking. And I get it with the volume. I completely get how difficult it is. But the idea of going back to more authentic, direct relationships with your audience is very refreshing, very scary, but also very refreshing. I also think about it this way. How would you like it if you have a problem with someone, or you're dealing with someone, and then a third party comes and tells you, oh, this is what the person is thinking? They're completely interpreting what the other person's thinking, right? This is kind of how I look at cookie when I started learning about cookies. So I think the removal of this third person is going to be completely beneficial, because now you can actually hear from your customers. You don't have to rely on third-party data. It's scary and it's a lot of work, but I think it's going to give more authentic results. That's really interesting, but hold on a second. I've got something just as exciting to share with you. Elevar Gazette is your go-to newsletter for elevating both your personal and professional life. Every Sunday, get tips on achieving balance and personal growth. Every Thursday, receive career advice, marketing strategies, and professional development insights, and much more. Plus, stay updated with the latest from my podcasts and much more. Join my newsletter today at anushakannan.com/email list and start elevating your journey. Let's get back into the show. The third one is neurotargeting. I'm going to love saying this line because I wrote this down when I was just thinking about what to film today. Marketing to the subconscious. This is so corny and cheesy. It's absolutely nothing, but I just loved how it just, I don't know, I'm a psychology girl, but also love marketing. So this is just my favorite part. I never took a neuroscience marketing class when I did my master's degree. I was really sad that I was not able to do that. But advances in neuroscience are making it possible to understand and influence consumer behavior on a whole new level. People are already doing this. Marketers already know about this. But by 2025, we're going to be using neurotargeting to create campaigns that actually appeal directly to the subconscious mind. So people are already doing this. We're using eye tracking software to determine which elements of an ad capture the most attention. We're also doing neurofeedback to understand emotional responses to different marketing messages. So this is going to be the kind of data that allows for more creation of highly effective and emotionally resonant campaigns. So this is going to be really big. Let me know, have you tried using neuromarketing techniques in your campaigns, or have you noticed how certain elements of an ad or a content piece impacts you emotionally? For me, I love seeing videos with a dark aesthetic with a yellow font on top. That will just make me stop the scroll. I'm like, this is perfect. Or anything with a black background and a white font is something I absolutely love. Is there something you've experienced like that? Do you agree with me on the whole dark aesthetic with a yellow font on top? I'm starting to love how people are making reels these days. Trying to adapt that to my TikTok game as well. If you're not following me on TikTok, you should. It's at Anusha Ramesh Kannan. But I'm curious to know how you're tapping into this trend that's emerging. The fourth one, which I think is really important as a consumer and also as a marketer, the ethical economy, aligning profit with purpose. So consumers are increasingly looking for brands that stand for something beyond just profit. By 2025, the most successful companies, I think, will be those that kind of integrate ethical practices into every aspect of their business, especially how they handle customer feedback and customer support, which I think is going to be really important, but also what they do with the data, because everything is just coming back to what we talked about before. I'm a huge impact. I want to make meaningful impact in life. That is why I'm doing this podcast, because I want people to learn things that I wish someone was there to tell me. So for me, even if I'm going to work for someone, I want to make sure that they're doing something that's impacting someone in a good way. So if I'm like that as an employee, I'm definitely like that as a consumer too. So I want to learn from you. What kind of brands do you think are doing justice to this one? How is your brand, if you're working for a brand, I mean, obviously we're all looking for brands. How is your brand aligning profit with purpose? And if you're a consumer, what brands do you support because of their ethical stance? Let me know. Tag me on LinkedIn, tag me on Twitter or X. I'm not on Instagram, but highlight some of the best examples that you can think about and let me know, because I'm curious. And the last one, this is a fun one to learn. The last one is phygital experiences. And I didn't say digital, I said phygital. It's physical plus digital experiences. I think this is going to be a new sort of engagement. And I've done this. This is funny because I've done this and I didn't know this had a term. The line between physical and digital experiences is kind of learning. Have you ever gone to a shop, wanted to buy something, but then you're like, I want to know what people are saying about this. Do I even want to invest so much in this? And then you pull out your phone and look at Amazon and just read the reviews, or even just look at the price. You compare the price to see if it's cheaper on Amazon. I've done this so many times, and I think that's what they're talking about, right? Physical and digital experiences. From my research, what I've learned is by 2025, successful brands will be those that master the art of merging physical and digital touchpoints to create customer journeys that are more impactful. So, like I said, you've got to be this person that you've got to be this brand that can help customers switch between being on site, like physically, and also digitally. For example, if you have a retail store, customers can use their smartphones, scan products, and get instant reviews, video demos, or even personalized discounts. Or consider an event where physical attendees and virtual participants can interact in real time, thereby creating a unified experience. So have you had any phygital interactions lately? Let me know, because I'm curious. I know we've all probably done this, but I'm curious to know what other phygital experiences you might have had. So that's really all I had for 2025. I think these are the 5 things that I can think about for my research, just a little bit of research. I don't want to talk about the ones that everybody obviously knows. So I don't think they were just trends. I think these are opportunities to innovate, to connect on a deeper level, and also purpose, the big word. That's all for today. Hope you find it useful. Please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or email me at anusha@anushakannan.com. Follow me on LinkedIn to never miss my journey, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.